What if right now, while you're listening to this, our solar system is being visited by something that did not come from Earth? Recently, astronomers confirmed the detection of an interstellar object known as 3I/8LIS, discovered just last July. Within days, headlines and social media were flooded with claims suggesting it could be an alien spacecraft, and some physicists even published research papers proposing that this object might not be natural at all, but rather artificial technology created by an extraterrestrial civilization. But today we're asking a much bigger question. Are we truly alone in the universe? Think about the scale of what we're dealing with. There are more than 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe, and in the Milky Way alone, there are at least 500 billion planets. Statistically speaking, even if a tiny fraction of those planets supported life, we should be surrounded by millions of advanced civilizations right now, and yet we see nothing. This leads to an even more important question than whether they exist or not. If extraterrestrial life exists, what would happen if they appeared tomorrow? Before we try to answer that, there's an important point we need to address. One of the most common questions people ask about aliens is what they would look like. Some imagine small gray beings with large eyes, others imagine terrifying monsters, and some believe they wouldn't even have physical bodies at all, just pure energy. But not all possibilities are equally realistic. If we look at the human body, we see an incredibly precise design where every organ serves a specific function. Hands are shaped to grasp tools, the digestive system extracts nutrients and repairs itself, and the heart beats an average of 2.5 billion times over a lifetime. Life on Earth is perfectly adapted to Earth. So if life evolved on another planet, there's no reason it should resemble us at all. Different planets mean different conditions. Lower gravity could produce taller beings. Higher gravity could result in shorter, denser bodies with thicker bones, and planets farther from their stars might require larger eyes to collect faint light. Different environments create different forms of intelligence, but here's the critical problem most people overlook: distance. Space isn't just large, it's unimaginably vast. The closest known planet outside our solar system is Proxima Centauri b, about 4.24 light-years away. A single light-year is the distance light travels in 1 year, moving at 300,000 kilometers per second, which means light can circle the Earth more than 7 times in just 1 second. Even using our fastest technology today, a normal aircraft would need millions of years to reach that planet, and even the fastest human-made object ever launched would still take more than 70,000 years. So how could intelligent life ever reach us? Because of this, many scientists believe that if contact ever happens, it won't be with living beings at all, but with technology. Autonomous probes, artificial intelligence, and machines sent to explore the universe long after their creators may have gone extinct. This idea leads us to a famous equation. In 1961, astronomer Frank Drake attempted to answer the question of whether we are alone by creating an equation to estimate how many advanced civilizations might exist in our galaxy. The problem is that many of the variables are impossible to measure accurately. If you use pessimistic numbers, the result is 0. If you use optimistic numbers, the result can be millions of civilizations. This contradiction leads to one of the most famous mysteries in science, known as the Fermi paradox. If intelligent life is common, where is everyone? Some possible explanations include that we are truly alone, that intelligent life is extremely rare, that civilizations exist but choose not to communicate, that they're observing us silently, or that they destroyed themselves before spreading across the stars. But what if we've already seen signs and just didn't recognize them? In 1977, a radio telescope detected an extraordinary signal that lasted 72 seconds and was 30 times stronger than background noise. The scientist who discovered it wrote one word next to the data: wow. The signal never appeared again. Then, in 2003, another strange signal was detected at 1420 megahertz, the frequency of hydrogen, the most common element in the universe and exactly the frequency scientists predicted intelligent civilizations might use. Again, no clear explanation. Things became even more disturbing in 2004, when military pilots began reporting objects that defied known physics. Objects descending from extreme altitudes to sea level in seconds, with no wings, no engines, and no visible propulsion. They hovered, accelerated instantly, and vanished. Between 2004 and 2022, more than 500 official military reports were filed describing unexplained aerial phenomena. So let's assume they exist. Why would they come here? For resources? That doesn't make sense. Water is abundant throughout the universe. Icy moons contain more water than Earth. Gas giants hold massive amounts of vapor, and comets are frozen reservoirs of ice. If water were the goal, Earth wouldn't be worth the effort. Another theory suggests Earth itself, a rare, stable planet orbiting a stable star, making it a perfect long-term environment. Another theory is even more unsettling. The zoo hypothesis, which suggests they're already here, not to invade, but to observe us, studying our behavior and monitoring our technological progress without interference. But now let's imagine the worst-case scenario. What if they're not observers? What if they're invaders? Picture the first 48 hours. It begins with a signal detected from deep space. Governments are alerted, and the information is initially concealed to prevent global panic. Then the objects arrive. Communication attempts fail, satellites go offline, power grids collapse, and the internet disappears. Military forces respond, but their weapons are ineffective against technology far beyond human understanding. Nuclear weapons are considered, but using them would destroy humanity faster than the invaders ever could. One nation launches anyway. The alien craft survives, and the city does not. From that moment, resistance collapses. Infrastructure is targeted, transportation systems fail, and governments fall. Then comes Phase 2, terraforming. The atmosphere is altered. Methane, ammonia, and carbon dioxide are released, and the oceans are chemically modified, not for humans, but for them. By the end of the second day, Earth is no longer a human planet. Humanity survives at first, but the environment slowly becomes incompatible with life. No dramatic explosions, no heroic ending, just extinction in silence. So the question remains, are we alone, or are we simply not ready for the answer? If you're new here, subscribe for more questions that keep people awake at night. And if a thought like this ever crosses your mind at 2 a.m, staring into the darkness, wondering what might be watching us from the stars, leave your question in the comments. We'll explore it. At 2 a.m.